Hi, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. So, we're going to talk to Elvis today. And he's been here before. I'm going to say this is just something new that I'm trying. This is a meter, and I don't know how clear it's going to show up on this camera because this camera kind of sucks. See it moving? See it moving? Okay, it's got the green light on. It stays on the green light, but if it goes clear up to red, that's when they get close to it. And hopefully this is a new one I'm trying, so I'm kind of experimenting on your videos. Can you see the white light when I touch it? It's a static ball or whatever they call it. I see that one flickering. That's when energy gets close. So we'll see if Elvis can kind of make these go off. I know I had my Bob said, I'm not a circus show, I'm not doing that. That's my Bob who's passed. So I like to explain to my first timers. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. A little bit of taste and smell. They, this is not an exact science. The way we can communicate. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. And when they show me a picture, I have to describe it, what I feel or see, or if they, usually when they show the picture, they don't talk about it. They just show the picture, and then they talk. I don't know. It's just the way we communicate. So anyway, I have to describe the picture to you, hopefully well enough that you know what he's showing. And they don't always tell me every detail. They just give me enough so that you know, because it's none of my business. I'm just the vessel bringing the message on. So they don't always tell everything. You'll know. You'll get a little bit of validations, two or three things that you positively know that it's him, and the rest of it will be him talking to you, because I don't want to spend my whole reading going. But what I can do, I can prove this, this, and this about you guys. That's not what this is for. I stink at names. So if he mentions a name and let's say he says John, it'll at least be a male with a J or a JO name. So you might have to think outside the box a little bit. So don't throw out the reading if you don't understand every single thing right at this moment. Because a lot of times they'll bring in something that you'll remember later, it will happen later, or it will be something that you may not even know about, but you'll say something to somebody else and they go, oh, I know what they're talking about, what he's talking about, that somebody else can validate. So just keep all that in mind. And like I said, this isn't perfect, but it's the best way we can communicate right now. And he's raising a glass. And he makes me want to cry. He's raising a glass, and it looks like a glass of wine or champagne, and he's toasting you. He said, here's to you, brother. And I hope I don't cry. He's making me want to cry. He says, blood doesn't make you family. He says, we were closer than blood. We were closer. He's talking about blood. Even honestly, I don't even know if you're blood or not, but you're closer than just being blood. It was a, he says, special bond, special togetherness, special closeness. Two peas in a pod, soul connection. Okay, so not everybody has a soul connection. How to explain this real quick? You can love somebody, you can marry somebody, you can have that close connection. But to have an honest to God soul connection where you feel it in your gut, you know when you meet somebody, I know you from somewhere. I know you. I feel you. You could finish each other's sentences. It's not just about being close, it's about an actual soul connection. And that's what he's saying you guys were. I've walked into a room and seen a man across the room that I've never seen before in my life, and I go, I freaking know you from somewhere. And I do believe in past lives, and I do believe that we go in the same circles with the same, not every single person you meet in your life, but your core group. He's saying you two pulled a lot of pranks on people, and he's showing some fireworks. Okay, he's showing sneaking around the corner of a house. There's people in the backyard. I see a barbecue. Might even be a pool there, but I'm not absolutely sure. And you two are going to light something and throw it and scare the bejeebies out of everybody sitting there. He's not only acknowledging this picture, actually, not just a still picture, it's actually kind of like a little movie that he's showing me. Like you two creeping, sneaking up to the corner. He's not only acknowledging a past 4th of July, but he's acknowledging he will be there for this 4th of July. Okay, there's going on the 4th of July, if you're somewhere where people are blowing up fireworks, he's showing something floating down. Of course, if you shoot things up in the air, there's all kinds of little pieces of paper and stuff that float down sometimes, or the thing will come back and fall down in front of you. But something's going to come down as you're blowing stuff up, even if you go to watch fireworks. And it's, okay, show me better. He's showing one thing that's going to kind of go right in front of you, but he's also showing something that's going to go like this, but it's going to be right in front of you. It's going to be very slow. It's going to be something that's going to grab your attention, and he wants you to know about it ahead of time, because I almost put this video off until after the 4th, but I felt really pushed to do it before. So there's something that's not only got a dive bomb in front of you, of course, you'll know the difference. You'll know when you see it. It almost looks like a feather, but I feel more like it's a piece of paper or something off the fireworks, but it's going to not just float by. So watch for that. He says there's nothing you could have done. Now he's going to make me want to cry again. And he's getting very adamant, like he wants to beat on the table. He said, there's nothing you could have done. You have to let go of that guilt. This is not something that you can take on. This is something that was going to happen. You couldn't have stopped it. You're beating yourself up because you think you should have seen something. No, you couldn't. It had to be this way. Things can't always be explained. He just wants you to accept that it was going to be this way no matter what you did. Even if you'd done something, it was still going to be this way. You would have just had less guilt. He wants you to let go of that guilt because it hurts him to know. He's making me want to cry again. I haven't cried for a while in a reading. He's being very strong about this. It hurts him to see you carry the guilt of what was going to be anyway. He says, I love you, brother. He's making me want to rock. I love you, brother. He says, I want you to honor me, not suffer because of me. Okay, he's showing some little dog. It's still a little blurry. It's kind of brownish. It's got some white on it. Maybe a little bit of black. I'm not 100% sure. Wanted to say it was like a little mutt dog, and then it kind of looked like an English bulldog. Not all the way like an English bulldog. Pit bull, nah. The face I'm seeing looks like an English bulldog. So that might be a little general. I don't like being vague, but I won't make it fit. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. I feel like this dog is still here. It could be with him. If the dog is still here and one of you has this dog, watch this dog because the dog is looking up at him. The dog, animals and small children can see them because they haven't been told you can't have an imaginary friend. People that are gone are gone. You stop saying that, you know. When I was little, we were shut down from our imaginary friend and told, there's no such thing. Stop saying that. Little kids haven't had that shoved down their throat yet. So I believe that your wife said that your 2-year-old son was talking to him the week he passed. Absolutely 100%. Absolutely. And so can the animals. Cats are even better because it's like usually spirit will come in and they'll go like this to a cat or something, and the cat, like it's watching a fly on the wall, you know, and there's nothing there. There is something there. They can see it. We can't. Well, I can, but not everybody can, you know. So watch this dog or any dog that you might have. But this dog is he's showing the dog looking up at him. And I don't want to spend any more time on this dog because the dog sees him and is interacting with him. He's showing the two of you you would kick back in your chairs and just roar with laughter when you be telling jokes. He says 2 peas in a pod again. He says he sees you where you can't hardly drag yourself to work. He says, what good is that doing for your family? You're not honoring me by suffering and not doing your job well for your family. He says, that's not honoring me. He wants you to think of what he would want you to do. And he's showing again, he wants you to sit back in that chair and roar with laughter. Excuse me. Roar with laughter again. That doesn't mean you don't love me. That means you do love me. He keeps starting to say something and then he doesn't finish. Hang on. Definitely watch the child. The child will interact with him. He's already seeing him. Watch the child. Don't prod him. Just watch him and listen. And don't give him really leading questions, but make him feel like he's welcome and free to talk about it. He's gonna tell you where he's at. I don't think even Elvis, he's gonna give you some signs. He's not showing them yet, but the child's definitely going to tell you where he is and what he's saying. Okay, so he's showing me the child pointing and saying he's right there. Of course, at 2, he's probably not saying it like that, but when he tells you that he's right there, I want you to acknowledge, trust the child. Acknowledge that Elvis is right there. Tell him you love him. Tell him to bring you more. Tell him to bring you more signs. Tell him to talk to you. It's okay to talk to your son. Let him know this. I promise you 1000% he can hear you. He can see you. I still have a little trouble wrapping my head around that, but it's the truth. There's a lot of things out in this world we don't know about yet. Okay, he's talking about a garage. I think it's your garage, but I'm not 100%. I'm showing fishing poles on the wall. There's something, and it seems to be a vehicle in that garage that he absolutely loves. That he wants to touch it. I don't know if it's his car or your car. I won't. If I don't know 100%, I will say so. Whoever garage this is, it's a little bit cluttered, and I have no room to talk. Mine's a mess. Okay, he's actually opened the door and getting in this car. Let's see what he's gonna do. He's still got his feet out. He's sitting in the seat, but he's got his feet out with the driver's door open. He's trying to honk the horn. Okay, electronic stuff is easy for them to do because it doesn't have any weight to it, and we are all energy inside. Once we shed this heavy physical body, we're all energy. That's why I was hoping energy will do that. Energy will make that thing go off. And it was going off earlier when I did my last reading a little bit. So I don't know for sure if he's figured out how to do it yet, so you're going to have a problem with the horn in your car. So don't take it to the mechanic. It's only him messing with you. So I don't know if it's not going to work or if it's going to toot when it shouldn't toot. Now he's playing with the radio. He's going to mess with your car. He's playing with the radio. He's changing stations. Me. Man, sorry, I can't turn it off. Hit the bad button. So watch for the radio in your vehicle to change channels or do something. Change something on it. When it changes the channel, immediately listen to what song is on. It could have something to do. The message from him could be the song itself. It might be the exact line of that song at that moment. It might be the name of the song and the artist. That's the way they send a message a lot of times. People like that, especially people like that. People that can't talk, evidently. And I'm in the business of talking. People that like music. They like to communicate through music. So listen to exactly what is going on at that moment. Or even when the horn beeps, be aware of what's around. There could be a billboard with Elvis on it. not your Elvis, but the real Elvis. Or it could be an Elvis song on. Or what else could there be? There could be, like if you're driving down the road and your horn honks or the radio changes channels, and he may not have figured out how to do it yet, because sometimes it takes him a little bit of time. There may be a vehicle driving by that's just like the one he had. Usually there's kind of like a double whammy until you get the hang of it, so that you understand that, yes, it's not just a song. Look, I've got this over here too to validate it. Could be a bumper sticker. He said he's going to let you know for sure that he's there, but he's going back to the child. The child call him Uncle E or something like that, Uncle E. Maybe before he could say his name, or 2 years old, I guess they kind of talking pretty good, starting to. Now he's all dressed up. He's all dressed up. And you and him went somewhere, and he said something similar to, aren't we some great looking dudes, or aren't we really sharp? And we're all dressed up, but I look better than you. I look slicker than you, or something along that line. Talking about the heart, something about the heart. Sometimes they just throw things out and just leave it. And they don't explain, I think I already said, they don't explain everything because it's not for me to know. It's just for you to get the message. I don't need to know all the details. Did you guys like to cook? And he's shown, it doesn't look like we're in a restaurant. It looks like we're in a home setting. And it looks like a really pretty white plate with kind of like a chef would put. I can't even tell what I see, some asparagus, but this doesn't look like what I would slap in a pot on the stove and slap on a plate. This looks like very fancy with garnishes on it. I can't tell what the meat is. I want to say maybe a piece of chunk of fish and asparagus with garnishes on the fish. It may not be fish, but it kind of looks like that meat. Glass of wine. He says, I cook better than you. He says, but the best times were just kicked back in the chair, relaxing with a drink in our hand, and just bullshitting. Like, it's almost like you two are one. It's kind of like I see the energy around both of you, like when you're sitting close together, and it's like a bubble of energy around you, and you're a oneness. That's going back to that soul connection. So the soul connection, like I said, means you're going to see him again. You're going to be with him again. And if you choose to come back to this life again, I believe in more than one life, even though that's hard for me to wrap my head around, that you'll come back together. May not be two males. Might be male-female. Might be married. Might be brother-sister. You'll be in that same group. Yeah, it's a little hard for me to understand that I'd been a male before in my life, but I'm a tomboy, so that kind of fits in. Talking about church bells ringing. Church bells ringing. He's showing me a church and a steeple. somebody getting married, like somebody either just got married or somebody getting married like really soon. He's either acknowledging it or he's gonna. If it hasn't happened yet, he will be there. He's not giving me a clear indication, but it's something real recent to this time. He's going to tickle you on the nose. So it won't feel like a finger because we don't have these anymore. We just leave our body behind. Nothing else stays behind. Our soul, our being, our energy does not die. You actually can't kill energy. That's quantum physics. Energy changes form. It doesn't die. But he's going to tickle you on the end of the nose. So it could feel like a pin sticking. It could feel like a hair on there that you can't get off. It could feel like a fly landing on your nose. I don't know how you will feel it. You're going to hear him, if you haven't already, and he's going to say something like, "Hey, you." He says he might try to say your name, but he's going to say, "Hey, you." It may not be that clear. You might hear just in one ear at a time, like muttering. If his energy is high enough, like when my guides and archangels talk to me, they want my attention, and I'm not paying attention, I get a really, really high shriek in one ear. And I have tinnitus, both my ears ring, but it's a real high shriek in one ear. So you could get a high shriek. When Bob gets too close, my ear gets extremely hot and turns bright red. Or you might just hear a mumbling, a soft mumbling. Or you might actually hear the, "Hey, you." He's going to make sure that you know that he's there, asking. He can hear you. Ask him. But sometimes when we're in such deep, not sometimes, almost all the time, when we're in such deep grief, it's like a wall. And I don't understand that. But we block them out. Even though we're not doing it on purpose, but when you're in such deep grief and in such a hole, and they try to do these things, they can't get through our grief. So it might take a little bit, and I don't know how long he's been gone. I don't remember. But once you start getting these signs, it will help release some of that. So it may be hard for him to get through to you, but it's not hard for him to get through to your child. Because they're like, "Hey." Okay, I don't know what he's showing, but hang on. Unless he's talking to me, because I'm getting ready to light my sage and sage my house a little bit. Then I have my candles lit. He's showing me one of these, and he's showing me that it's lit like this. I don't know why. And he says be careful with it. So I don't know if he's talking about you or me. Probably didn't want me to burn myself. I'm quite the klutz. He wants to thank you for allowing him to be a part of your life. He wouldn't. Something about the bride. I didn't quite catch it all. It wasn't exactly, he wouldn't have had as great a ride if it wasn't for you, but it was something like that. I didn't quite catch all the words, and he's not repeating it. We had one hell of a ride. And he says the ride's not over. It's just going to be different. He says, let me help you. Tears are okay. They mean love. But you can't stay there. And he says, and I couldn't stay here. No matter how tight you would have tried to hold on to me, I couldn't have stayed. Okay. I've always been told that when we come into this world, we come in with an exit point. Some people, their exit point is a day or two later. Some people, their exit point is 100 years old. We have an exit point that it's predestined. Sometimes we can make it shorter, like Bob who killed himself. That wasn't his exit point, but he chose to make it his exit point. Or sometimes we can stretch it out a little bit if there's lessons that people need to learn around us from this exit point. But this general time that he left was his predestined exit point. I don't like it. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. It's just the way it works. And no, they won't tell us what our exit point is. I don't think I've ever. If you go to somebody and they tell you your exit point, no, they don't tell you, because you'll change your whole life and they want you to live your life the way it's supposed to be. But if you actually knew the day you were leaving, then you would change lots of things around you, and they don't want that. It doesn't work that way. So he wanted me to tell you that just in case you thought about finding out. Mm-mm. I want you happy, bro. Did he did he speak another language, or maybe even just a few words of another language? Because he's saying something right now I don't understand what he's saying, and I don't recognize any of the words. So it's not the words that he's saying, he's just making me aware. He wants you to honor him through your child. And I'm not sure exactly what he means by that. I want you to honor him through your child. Let's see if he's going to elaborate. Don't sit on him too tight. Allow him to explore and learn the things that we learned. He says, because we were some pretty awesome dudes. Okay, so I thought it's funny, he hasn't given too many signs yet. There was a certain smell about him. His cologne or his hair product or something. And you're going to smell that. And you'll smell it in your car, in the hardware store, in your house, outside. It doesn't matter where you're at. You'll just get a of it. And when you do, he's getting your attention, and you tell him, I love you, man. I know you're here. I trust that you're here. Bring me more. And once you start recognizing all these signs, you'll get all kinds of stuff because he's going to be a little ornery. He says, I know you won't forget me, just don't make me your whole life. Just keep me a part of it. Okay, he's going to leave. He wanted you to be aware of all those things that are going on, you know, and the signs, the smell, and the radio, and the horn, and I don't see him doing anything else in the house, but he might. Something about smelling him in the bathroom. I don't think he means by farting or anything like that. Maybe. Not sure, he's not saying. But that he spent a lot of time in the bathroom primping. But there's still going to be something that you're going to smell while you're in there. He says, I love you, bro. Do me proud. There's something that you guys promised, and I don't think it was recently. It might have been before he left, but I feel like it was further in the past that you promised him, each other, that you promised each other. Something you promised each other about taking care of the other ones. If something happens to me, you're going to help take care of my family, type of thing. Something along that line. He says, I want to thank you and honor you. You've been a blessing. And hold your head up. Be proud. Be proud of who we were. Now he looks like he's playing a guitar, but it doesn't look. It looks a little different shape than a guitar. It looks a little more round than a guitar. But he's strumming it. Now he says, I can do anything I want now. He says, I'm a genius now. He's funny. He's a genius. Okay, he said he's going to leave you with these things to think about and to watch for, and then he'll be back. He's like brushing his hands off like this. I don't know why. He's taking a hanky or a wet one, and now he's wiping his hands, getting them real clean. He says you'll know. You'll know why. Don't doubt that I'm with you. Your son will show you. He says kiss him and love him. Hold him while you can. Because tomorrow's not promised. And with that, he's leaving. And as he's leaving, he's got a balloon and he released it. He let it go. So if you guys released balloons for him or thinking about it, which I hear people are trying to discourage people from doing that nowadays, but I still do it. I guess they say animals get them after they come down, but I don't know of an animal that ate a flat balloon. Anyway, he's leaving. I hope this helps you in some way. Watch for the signs and you'll know he's still with you. I promise that he's still with you, just in a different way. Much love to you. See you later. Thank you for trusting me with your loved one. And hope to see you guys around. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. See you later.